Hello everyone, welcome back. This is a new lecture in your course Vagrant Essentials Build Portable Environments by Eduonix. My name is Ahmed, and in this lecture we are going to start actually installing Vagrant. In the previous two lectures we have seen what virtualization is, what it tries to solve, and where Vagrant fits in the big picture. We have also seen the difference between Vagrant and other similar purpose solutions like Docker. In this lecture let's start actually installing Vagrant, and as we have discussed, Vagrant can be installed on a lot of operating systems. It can be installed on Windows, on a large selection of Linux flavors or distros. It can be installed on macOS X. So in this lecture we are going to discuss installing Vagrant on Ubuntu, on Red Hat Enterprise Linux 7, on macOS X, and on Microsoft Windows 10. However, in the rest of this course we are going to use only one operating system for the Vagrant activities that we are going to discuss. That is because, as you're going to see, all Vagrant commands and all Vagrant behavior is similar among all operating systems. It just acts the same, so there is no need to repeat ourselves and repeat the commands on multiple operating systems. We're going to just use one operating system as an example, and all the examples that we're going to run will be equally available, will be equally running on other operating systems. So let's get started. This is Ubuntu 16.04. and it's running in a virtual machine on my macOS X host. And that brings us to a very important and only prerequisite for Vagrant, which is that a virtualization platform must be installed. So the first thing we're gonna have to install is a virtualization platform. Okay, and previously Vagrant used to work with only VirtualBox, but now you can install whatever virtualization platform you prefer. So you can install VMware, for example. But for this course, we're going to stick to using VirtualBox. So VirtualBox or any virtualization platform is a prerequisite for Vagrant to work. If you do not have a virtualization platform installed on your operating system, then installing Vagrant will just fail and it will ask you to install a virtualization platform. So let's do that first. Let's go to Google and search for download VirtualBox. It's a free download. Okay, as you can see here, it's www.virtualbox.org/wiki/downloads, and you're gonna find here that it is installable on nearly all known operating systems or all popular operating systems. We're gonna choose Linux distributions because we're gonna install it on Ubuntu. And as you can see here, we have Ubuntu, we have Oracle Linux, Red Hat Enterprise Linux, Debian, a lot of operating systems on Linux, and you can even install it from source if your operating system is not listed here. So let's choose our OS, which is Ubuntu 16.04. I will have a copy of this link location. Go to Ubuntu and paste this here. Okay, I'm gonna use a command that is called wget. Wget is a Linux command. I'm sure you are aware of it if you have worked with Linux before. If you haven't, it's just a command that downloads files from the internet. Okay, just downloads the file, give it the URL, and it will download the file for you. Let's press enter. And because I have this already downloaded, let's exit. I'm just gonna show you how things work, but I have already downloaded this package on my system. Next thing I'm gonna do is that I'm going to download the Vagrant package itself. So on Google, let's search download Vagrant. The first result that comes is download Vagrant by HashiCorp. And as you can see here, it's installable on macOS X, Windows, Debian, and CentOS. We are going to choose Debian because Ubuntu is a Debian flavor. Again, copy link location. And the same thing here. I'm gonna use wget, paste the link here. And again, because I have already downloaded those, to save ourselves time, I'm going just to open Nautilus and go to my home directory. As you can see here, I have Vagrant. Let's delete this partial download. And this one also. I do have here Vagrant and VirtualBox. let's first start by installing VirtualBox, as it is a prerequisite for Vagrant. And click on install. It may take some time, and it's gonna ask you for your administrator password, and Vagrant and VirtualBox both need admin password or the root password depending on your operating system. So you'll have to make sure that you do own this account, or ask your system administrator to install it for you if you don't have this privilege. Okay, so now it's installing. Okay, and now it has been installed successfully. Let's exit the installer and let's return to our Nautilus and double click or press enter to install Vagrant. And before we install it, let's make sure that VirtualBox is installed correctly. As you can see here in my Lightning box, I clicked on VirtualBox. Okay, and here it is. This is VirtualBox by Oracle. It's installed. This means that we can go ahead and install Vagrant. So let's click on install. Okay, now it has been installed successfully, and in order to make sure that Vagrant is correctly installed on any operating system, just clear the screen and on a terminal window, just type Vagrant version, just like that, Vagrant space version. Press enter, and it will give you almost the same message in all operating systems where it is installed version, and it will give you the version number. At the time of this recording, the latest version of Vagrant is 1.9.1, and it will give you that green message: you're running an up-to-date version of Vagrant. This means that Vagrant is correctly installed. Now let's power off this machine and go to our next one. Okay, let's go to Windows, Microsoft Windows 10. Okay, and this is VirtualBox package. Downloaded it from the same website from which I downloaded VirtualBox for Ubuntu, virtualbox.org. Double click on the icon. Just a very simple Windows installation, the same way you do anything in Windows, any installation in Windows. Just a wizard where you click next. It's gonna warn you that it's gonna install a network adapter. I'm gonna click yes for that. Install. Okay, and let's keep this checked. Start Oracle VM VirtualBox 5.1.14 after installation. Let's do that just to ensure that it has been correctly installed. Okay, and here it is. Let's exit. And I didn't download Vagrant here. Let's do just that now. So in the Internet Explorer, let's go to Google, or just type here download Vagrant. Gonna go to the same website where we were, and let's download the universal installer for Windows. Let's keep it to download here. Okay, now it's finished downloading. Let's run it. Run the installation. And it will open a similar wizard. Of course, you do have to have admin privileges before you can run this. You can leave the default location to be at C /vagrant. If you want to change it, of course, you can do that. I'm gonna leave it at the default here, and it's gonna give you the warning. You're gonna click yes and leave it to install. Okay, and click finish to finish the installation. And as with most software that's being installed on Windows, it needs a restart to apply the settings or to apply the changes that have made to the operating system. So we're gonna click on restart. Okay, now the Windows has been started. Let's have a look at CMD for the command line. Okay, and Vagrant actually nearly all the commands that we're going to use in this course are going to be used on the command line, so let's type Vagrant version. It's the same command that has been run on Ubuntu. Okay, and as you can see here, it's going to give me the same message that has been given on the Ubuntu operating system. Installed version 1.9.1, latest version 1.9.1. You are running an up-to-date version of Vagrant. Okay, let's shut down the system. Now let's have a look at Red Hat Enterprise Linux 7. Okay, as you can see here, I have already downloaded Vagrant and VirtualBox. Now let's try for a change, installing both of them using the command line instead of using the GUI. So let's go to Home, at Downloads, and rpm-ivh, which is the command in Red Hat Enterprise Linux and Red Hat Enterprise Linux variants like CentOS and Fedora and others. The rpm command is used to install packages on the system. So I have here VirtualBox, click on Enter, and as you can see here, I have a dependency that is missing. I need to install the SDL package, so let's do just that. yum-y install SDL. Okay, now let's clear the screen and run again rpm-ivh. Okay, and notice here this message, creating group VBox users. VM users must be a member of that group. Whoever user you want to be associated or you want to be able to work with VirtualBox must be a member of that group. So if you're using Linux, make sure that you put whatever users that are going to use VirtualBox in that group in order for things to work correctly. Now, notice here this error message or warning message. It is requiring us to install these packages in order for VirtualBox to work correctly. So let's quickly install them. -y install gcc make and the kernel headers. Okay, now everything is okay. Let's have a look at Applications, System Tools, and as you can see here, I have Oracle VM VirtualBox. Okay, the same interface that is on Ubuntu and same interface that we saw on Windows. Now let's install Vagrant. Let's clear the screen, and again, using rpm-ivh, pass in the path for Vagrant. Clicking on Enter will just install it. Okay, and to test our installation as usual, we're gonna run Vagrant space version, press Enter, giving you the very same message that we've seen on Ubuntu and on Windows 10, installed version and the version number, then latest version and the version number. You are running an up-to-date version of Vagrant. So Vagrant now is installed on our system. Let's power off this machine and head back to our last operating system that we are going to demonstrate in this lecture, which is the macOS X, the host system that I am working on. Okay, now we don't need this for the moment. Let's close it. And I have already downloaded Vagrant package here. Going just to double click Vagrant package and follow the wizard. Click install, and of course it's gonna ask me for the admin password or the root password if you wish to call it. And because I already have VirtualBox installed, as you have seen, it is the platform from which I am running Ubuntu, Windows, and Red Hat Enterprise Linux, so it's not gonna complain that anything is missing. Now the installation was successful. Close, and I can move the installation source to trash. I don't need it anymore. And again, in order to make sure that everything is working fine, let's run Vagrant space version. And as you can see here, I have the same message that has been displayed to Ubuntu, Red Hat Enterprise Linux 7, and Windows 10. Installed version, the version number, latest version, and the version number. You're running an up-to-date version of Vagrant. That proves that we have installed successfully Vagrant on 4 operating systems. And that brings us to the end of this lecture and at the end of this section in Vagrant Essentials Build Portable Environments by Eduonix. My name is Ahmed. In the next section, we are going to start building our first Vagrant machine. We're going to start actually working with Vagrant using the command line. So see you next.